Have you guys ever received a message on any form of media that just makes no sense or is just plain strange? Well, guys, I sure have, and I'm here to tell you guys some of these experiences. Hey, what's going on, geeks? Max and the Beast is here, and welcome back to Story Time. I know it's been a long while since I made one of these, and I hope to get back into doing these regularly. Anyway, as the goofy little introduction suggests, tonight's topic is weird messages I've received, and just the whole gist of that. So with that being said, let's get into this, as I'm sure this will be very interesting. So, our first story comes from about 2 years ago. I had just established and created my first Skype account, and I was very excited to be able to talk to friends over the internet, as I had very vague forms of doing so 3 or 4 years ago. I was very excited as I had plenty of friends who had moved out of the country, or moved out of the state, who had Skype and they wanted to chat, so it was a great way of keeping in touch. And it felt really awesome to be able to see people when they're halfway across the country from you. Skype is awesome. So, within the first month of me having my Skype account, I get a message, or I get a friend request from a number I had never seen before. This kind of worried me, but me being a pretty tolerable person decides, hey, I'm going to give whoever this is a chance, right? You know, I'll just accept the friend request and see what the person wants, right? Maybe even make a friend. Well, this person I accept the request, and I said to the person, "Hello, how are you today?" 3 messages, of course. We're not actually on the call yet. The person responds, "Hey, are you in college?" "Not yet, why?" "Well, I was wondering if you would like to help me out with a prank I'm doing for my girlfriend. On my girlfriend." "Okay, what's the prank?" You see, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be faking like I'm recording porn. So, when she walks home, I'm going to pretend to be like a porn star or something. So when she gets home, she's going to be like all angry at me because I'm recording porn without her permission. With some other girl. And at this point, I sure am as heck am underage for this kind of crap. So, I'm already when he started saying something about prank on girlfriend, I was on edge. And then when he starts saying, "Are you in college?" That's when I'm like, okay. I mean, with that question, it's like, maybe just wondering if by any chance we go to the same school. Okay, maybe he thinks he knows me from a class. Thinks maybe there's a Max in his class and he's wondering if I'm perhaps him. No, I'm like, I politely say, "I'm sorry, but find somebody else to help you with your prank. I don't know how somebody over Skype's going to help you anyway, but I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to help you. Find somebody else." "Okay, have a good one." And that's how that ended. You know, it could have been a lot worse. The guy could have been a jerk about it, could have said, "No, you're going to help me out with this," or just called or whatever. But he didn't pursue any farther. He just said, "Okay, whatever, thanks for your time," or whatever. And that's the last I ever heard of that. The next story comes not so long after that, also on Skype. So, it's been 2 months since this last incident. Nothing really has happened between Skype. I just added a few friends, and I was on call with one. He said he was going to add one. My friend said he was going to add one of his friends that he had met over Minecraft. At the time, I was a big Minecraft nerd. So we get on Skype, we're talking, and his friend finally gets on. So his friend, we play Minecraft, get on the same Minecraft server and just play for a bit. You know, it's normal. And then after the whole Minecraft thing, I leave the group chat because I had to go do some stuff in real life, and they do their thing. My friend's friend was still on playing Minecraft, so later on that night, I came back to play, as I had finished doing whatever it was I was trying to do, and I noticed that his friend was still on the call. He had kept the call going. So, I joined in the call, we talked for a little bit, and it seems like we're actually becoming pretty fast friends. That's when, the next day, I get on there, I'm actually pretty excited, like, hey, I made my first friend over the internet. This is really cool. At the time, I really didn't understand how friendships over the internet worked, as I didn't have many. So, I just assumed that he was going to be like, you know, just a friend in real life, just someone I don't physically know. And I get on there the next day, I ask if he wants to Skype, and here's what he replies with. Have you ever wanted to stick your tongue inside of a car, an engine of a car? No. No, I have not. Have you? Okay, I thought, well, this is a very strange way of starting a conversation. He says, my brother did it this morning, and he got electrocuted, and he's dead now. Holy crap. Now, at the time, I thought he was serious. So I'm like, holy crap, dude, I'm so sorry to hear that. Are you and your family okay? Yeah, we're fine. My brother just electrified himself with a car motor. I'm so sorry to hear that, brother. How are you doing with all this? I just want to end it all, man. Just join my brother. Holy crap, that's a lot of stuff to put on a 11 or 12-year-old kid. And this kid wasn't that much older himself. Maybe a year older than me. So, if I was 11, he was 12. This was 3 or 4 years ago, keep in mind. So, I had no clue how to come back or how to respond to this. I just told him I was sorry and that I'd keep him in my mind and pray for him. Because what else am I supposed to do? I can't bring his brother back from the dead, right? The next day we talk, and he says, yeah, my aunt just shot herself. Oh my gosh, why? Well, apparently losing her nephew really caused her to go into some stress, and she killed herself. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, once again. This is all over text, he's not even talking on actual Skype call. I'm weirded out. I mean, it's still kind of sort of believable because the incident's kind of connected. However, it got weird. Even, well, if you didn't think this was weird, it gets worse. So, about a week later, we went without talking for about a week. I received a message from him saying, I just found out I have terminal cancer, rest in peace, me. At this point, okay, he had pulled this kind of crap before, according to my friend. I had talked to the friend who introduced us, and he said, yeah, he likes to tell the most dramatic stories he could find. And then he links me. My friend sends me a link to this website, where word for word was the speech that guy gave me about his brother killing himself with his car engine. And I was shocked because as a naive 11-year-old, I didn't know how bad people could be on the internet, how many lies people could just tell and get away with. I thought he was telling the truth. So I was just shocked. Needless to say, we never talked again after that. I called him out, well, okay. I talked to him one final time, calling him out for his lies, and he apologized. He realized I called his bluff, and he just dropped the whole act right there. I mean, when I first confronted him about it, he tried to keep pretending that it was real, like, what the heck, man, you think I'm lying to you about all this? Yes. Well, he eventually just apologized for it. He said, "I just wanted some attention." Yeah, I couldn't tell. So we haven't really spoke since then. I just kind of removed him from my contacts, and that was that. Now, this next story comes chronologically a year before I made my Skype account. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about the wrong thing. This story comes from 2 years after I made my Skype account. And don't worry, guys, this has nothing to do with Skype. I had just got my first phone, an iPhone 5S. Still have it, still use it. It was 3 months after I got it. I got it in July. It was in October. Around this time, actually. I'm working on my schoolwork, and my phone vibrates as I was writing an essay, and I didn't really want to be disturbed. I just put my phone on silent so I can concentrate. My phone vibrates, thinking that it could be somebody important because typically nobody messages me in the middle of the day unless they have something important they need to tell me. I check and make sure nothing's wrong, and it's from an unknown number. Okay, this is a bit on the strange side, but I'll just read what they want and maybe, I don't know, tell them to screw off. So, it's from what I'm assuming is a girl. And she says, "Hey baby, you wanna sext me tonight?" Well, I kinda had a vague knowledge of what sexting was. And as someone who's underage, no, I'm not sharing my body with you. I am not sharing very pornographic pictures with you. And I say that very clearly. I'm underage. I am not interested in sending pornographic pictures. Either try another number or get a boyfriend. Don't rely on the internet or random phone numbers to get you sex. That's what I'm assuming she wanted. So, I'm like, no, screw off. She responds saying, "Oh, you're underage. That turns me on." Holy balls. Crap, I shouldn't have even responded to this. This chick, she starts texting me even more. Thankfully, nothing too suggestive after that. Like, she didn't send any pictures or anything, so I didn't get the first base. But fortunately, nothing really pornographic happened. I just explained to her that, hey, you need help fixing your pedophilia. Get out. Just please don't text this number again, unless you really need help morally, because I am not here to offer you that kind of sexual relief. And yeah, that was very awkward. I of course shared the experience with my parents, and they were just appalled. We were able to trace the number back to somebody who lived in frickin' Idaho, and the person who was arrested for pedophilia. So, yeah, this is kind of like the time I got somebody arrested. I didn't feel very, good about making someone's life change, but we can't have a bunch of pedophiles running around, can we? Our final story kind of relates back to the reason I started my channel, which was me being trade scammed. Oh boy, this is kind of a story that I'm sure that some of you who have stuck around have been wondering, how did the whole trade scam thing happen? So I'm finally going to learn you good, inform you about what happened. So a year ago, last Tuesday, I was on Steam pretty late at night. At the time, I was very into CS:GO, and I still primarily played on my old Macintosh laptop. That's kind of the way I did things. But I was very into CSGO. I collected a lot of skins and had gotten a hold of a $60 knife via opening up crates. And I'm like, this is good luck. Well, somebody who I had recently played with in CSGO about a day or so before sent me a friend request on Steam. Now, if you've ever, guys, if you ever check out my Steam profile, my description says, if you want a friend, sure. I will more than likely accept, unless it's somebody who now I further to say, if you're trying to, scam me out of an item, you can forget it. I'm not accepting your request. And now I have a whole set of rules on my profile. Anyway, so, I'm assuming that's why the guy friended. So, I accept the request. I say, hello there, how are you? He's like, fine, thank you. Say, I am interested in your knife. Okay, I like the skin, and it's in very good condition. I would like to trade something for it. I have a whole collection of knives that about 80% of them I've gotten through actual in-game crates, and the other 20% I've gotten through online gambling, which at the time Valve had been really cracking down on. So I'm like, yo dude, I don't know how much longer this whole CSGO Lotto thing is going to exist, because Valve's been kind of busy shutting down these gambling sites. He's like, yeah, I know, it kind of sucks. Anyway, he says, I would be interested in trading. He sends me a link to an individual trade window where he shows me each one of the knives that he's willing to trade for mine. All three looked very reasonable, and two of which actually were double the price of my own. Well, not double, but double the condition of my own. Mine was field tested. Double that would be factory new. Okay, while the price of these knives were more in the $60 range, around the price range of my knife. So this was a pretty even trade, even though the skin condition was slightly better. And I was ecstatic at the opportunity to get something that was conditionally better than my own. So I jump at this offer. I'm like, hey, yeah, sure, I'll trade a knife for a knife. Now, being naive, super trusting me from the way I used to be, he asks for a series of tests to prove I'm not a scammer, because according to him, he had some scamming issues himself. Let's be honest, the only scamming issues he had was the issues that he had with himself personally and what he was doing. So, believing him, I send over my M4A4 Bright Water as sort of a test. And he even says here, to prove that your trade's not broken, as I've been hearing that seems having some issues with trades getting lost. How about you send the weapon over to your friend? Do you have a friend that you can refer to do this? Okay, I introduce the two of them. Or so I think. The guy acts exactly like my friend would. It's creepy. And then this is where things get strange and bad. The bad kind of strange. Like the why the frick would anybody do this kind of bad. And it gets very scary, to be honest. So, what happens is this guy has one of his friends impersonating my friend. And somehow managed to replicate very similarly to my friend's personality. Now, on multiple occasions after this, I checked to make sure my friend had nothing to do with this. And my friend himself, he actually received the request and sent it back. Then, somebody else with the same name, the guy very specifically said, do it with the guy in the group chat he had formed. Which, little did I know, was a group chat that he had set up with his impersonating friend. So I send the weapon over to him. His friend keeps the weapon without giving it back. And he said, okay, he got it. There should be a trading coming back to you. There never was. But I kind of just said, okay, maybe it's just, I just assumed, well, maybe it's just being slow. As he had just said earlier, that Steam was being weird with trades. So I give him my knife as a test. He said, I'll give it right back. Just going to make sure it went through. He kept it. I was an idiot for letting my guard down. And I learned my lesson, and I'm never doing that again. Never. I have learned to let my guard up, or keep my guard up, and never let it down for a second. Trust no one. Except for your closest friends, because they're more than likely not going to betray you. Unless they do. In that case, screw them. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like. And comment down below which one of these stories was either the creepiest, craziest, or was your personal favorite. Or just, leave a random comment. Whatever floats your boat. If you are new and you want to see content that is similar to this, consider hitting the subscribe button for future content, as each subscription counts. And be sure, after you subscribe, to hit the notification bell beside the push subscribe button, so you will be notified whenever I upload. Because apparently YouTube's making us do that now, to make us beg for subs, and for viewers to push the notification bell. I'm sorry if that's annoying, but I gotta do what's good for my channel, yo. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed as always, and like I said, as always, Max is the Beast is out. Peace, folks.